What's going on? Taylor from Bag Riders here, and Wilson from Bag Riders here. We are trying to get some space created in our little Bag Rider stabbing cabin. Tight quarters in here. I need 2 cars in here at once. Both of them are torn apart, and the 7 Series is looking rather decrepit out there in the parking lot. I took the liberty to move a bunch of pallets over there. We're making room here for the 7 Series. Hopefully it fits. We did some measuring. We're gonna go try to get it diagonally. The big trick is gonna be turning it around because it's pointing at us right now. Wait till you guys see how sad this thing looks right now.
Woo. Oh, you're going to camera time now.
Camera time, old man? Is that what you call it? Camera time.
You ever seen one of those before?
You ever seen one, Dims? So it's leaking because we have all these Schrader valves in here. We unplugged the management. So this sad little weenus is in here now. It's kind of a tight fit. Now we're just doing something to do something. We just had lunch, so we're trying to like reboot right now. As you can see, we're doing an incredible job at it.
It's fun for like the first minute, and then you're like, all right, this sucks.
Yeah, we're almost there though.
Yes.
I have to figure out a lot of in the engine bay. We could start pulling stuff out of here. Well, I want to clean up the steering rack. Basically everything that's been sprayed. Pull it out, clean it. While it would be nice to pull the subframe out now and be able to clean it, I mean, really just like a spray down with some degreaser and then hose it. A lot of this stuff is going to be hidden. What I do care about is like this stuff up here. We got a lot of stuff to do on this thing, really. The engine will be dry fit more than once probably before it gets all put back together. Like, I just want to go through all this stuff and ask the question, what can we do if we did something that will make this look a little bit nicer and go back together more cooperatively? Because this is just a nightmare.
It's a spaghetti.
It's a spaghetti. This is probably a good mile of hoses. Look at all of this stuff.
The worst one is this one.
Yeah. I think what we gotta do is just pull the radiator cartridge out, and then we can get to some of this stuff, like the oil coolers. I'm gonna pull those off, and we can figure that out. That's what we're gonna do right now. We'll check back in once we get somewhere with that. I think makes sense, right?
Yeah, makes sense to me.
He's lying.
No,
He's lying. Psych. We did a little bit of looking in the engine bay. We got stuff to do on the motor, so we're gonna leave this right now. As you can see, it's a little bit of a rat's nest. Thanks, BMW, or me. Might as well wheel the motor in here. I'm gonna fire up the laptop so we can look at the sequence to take the heads off. Picking up where we left off. We figured we need to bring some continuity into this episode. This one's been soaking in PB, so I don't know. See if we can break it sideways. I don't want to like. Where's the piece of wood we have?
I don't think that's moving at all.
Yeah.
Literally nothing. Maybe put a screwdriver in between it. Let me give her a whack.
Let's just sharpen this up. We're just gonna lose the tip of this in there.
I say just feed her the dinner again.
Listen, put the dinner to These things suck. How do I do this?
That's what I was trying to not do.
Amateur hour here at Bag Riders.
Another lost cause.
Discouraging because we got nowhere in a little over 20 minutes. Okay, back to our regular scheduled programming.
Now let's work on the motor. The motor. Hey, motor.
Alrighty, so we pulled the timing guts out of the head, the cam adjusters and the tensioner and the guides for the chains. We're about ready to start the sequence of pulling these heads off. I can't iterate this enough. We've never taken apart one of these engines before. I've done engines, but this is different. I don't want to get any flack for not pulling the fuel injectors out. Tool didn't come in time, as usual. I'm not too worried about that because there's stuff I still have to take off the head. I basically have to disassemble these heads completely, which is somewhat of a daunting task, but to get them cleaned, that's what these guys have requested that we do. So I don't have very high expectations of what the pistons look like, but we'll see. Heads are off on the cart. We are pretty certain these cylinders are a little smokified. Oil, a lot of oil, a lot of carbon buildup. They're all pretty bad. Knowing that those pistons look like that, I mean, we could just drive it till it blows up. Fortunately, it's only cost us special tools that I can also use on the N54. One of the reasons why I bought them. Because I know. Who's this? We just had a Karen pull up, we're pretty sure, and mark us down for not wearing masks. This lady pulls up right there. She looks at us, looks down, writes something down. She looks back up, we wave at her, she waves, and then drives off. So, not sure what her deal is. Yeah. I'm suspicious of people like that. Anyway.
Now what?
Yeah, let's try to get this front cover off. I think we gotta do this. Right. I don't know.
I think we're gonna do
We'll figure that out. Today on We Are Not Professionals, we're trying to get some PB Blaster to soak in this bad boy because it is not cracking loose. But we are failing miserably at getting this apart. One of the things we wanted to do was replace the timing chain because we have no record of it being done at all, and it's one of those things that probably could use it, and we're this far into it, so might as well do it. Yeah. I really only want to have the motor out of this thing once, and the more we take it apart, the more it really needs some TLC. But as to be expected with a motor with whatever 160,000 miles on it, you want to lift this thing back up and then zap it, or just zap it as
zap
is?
It just like this.
Yeah. My ears are ringing. Yeah. That's really annoying. We're kind of stuck. So is that bolt. What do you think we should do next, Wilson?
Just throw it away.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you on that one. We know everything's come apart nicely until now. I don't even know. It's looking more and more like a really good boat anchor. Tomorrow is a new day. We're gonna call it and figure out our lives. What's up? Today's a new day. We got some new hats in stock. We got these sweet 5-panel hats. This one's olive. We got them in black as well. Hopefully by the time this video is up, they're on our website. So go cop one. I'm pretty happy because I'm not a 6-panel guy, but I'm sure you've seen me wearing a 6-panel. That was out of pure necessity. Now we're in good shape. So I got my real thinking cap on. Probably will make less mistakes. For instance, the major flaw we had yesterday with our little crank balancer bolt escapade, as we were using this chrome socket. Good amount of mass, but it's not an impact socket. So, tech tip of the day, if you're having trouble breaking something loose, make sure you got an impact socket because they got a little bit more mass to them. I realized I had this in the toolbox, so I came in, zapped it with a good old ugga-dugga. Part of that coming loose is probably that we soaked it overnight in PB. This bad Larry is free to roam. So no longer annoyed, no longer discouraged. I might have somebody come over here and just take a look at the cylinder walls, give me a more professional opinion, and or I might just send some photos over to somebody that I know, and they can hopefully let me know whether or not they believe this thing needs a bottom end rebuild, or if we can just run it as is, clean the tops of the pistons, and get away with that. I'm gonna continue tearing this thing down, and like I said, it's a new day, got a new cap. I'm feeling really good about today. Let's see where it goes. Cool, that's it. Oof. This thing just keeps leaking fluid on all orifices. So to take the front timing cover off, pull basically the whole oil pan assembly. It's two parts. It's the main base pan, and then like the sump and all that stuff, and then in another part. But I'm gonna try to see if I can't get the rest of the oil to come out of this thing. Should be leaking good and strong leak. We're gonna keep on keeping on. What up? Yo, so block is down to where it needs to be for now. Before I start cleaning some stuff, I'm gonna try to have somebody come over and look at it, just to verify that like oil sprayers and things like that on the lower end are all good. Doesn't need a lower end rebuild, but I'm gonna clean up this mess first. The next thing I gotta do is start breaking these heads down so I can get them over to the head shop. A lot of carbon buildup on the valves. I don't know if you can really see it, but on the intake valves, pretty bad. I'm gonna see what else they can do about the valve guides and see if they can maybe come up with a more robust solution. Couple of things I'm still missing as far as tools go: injector puller, as well as valve spring compressor. Hoping tomorrow maybe that stuff comes in, or I'll just pivot to something else. All right. So the heads are torn down to as far as I can get them at the moment. There's a couple more things that I got to take out, like intake manifold studs, exhaust studs. I really hope you guys are enjoying me taking stuff apart, because I certainly am. It's gonna go back together, don't you worry. It's not a 22 RE. You can't just put it back together in the middle of the woods with peanut butter as lube. So I'm just trying to be pretty meticulous about this. Some of you might hate on me for the oil absorbing wrap on this stuff. Haters gonna hate. All in all, going pretty well. I was hoping to have these heads out to the head shop. They're ready to go so I can bring them tomorrow, but life throws you curveballs, and this was a big swing and a miss on that planning part. So whatever, is what it is. Can't really get bogged down by that. It's just about 5:15 right now, and I'm gonna finish this beer and pull these studs out so that there's less work to do later on. Anyway, I'm having a good time. You know, this is going slowly but surely, but that's how these things go, especially when you're trying to do stuff right. Colleague that I was telling you guys about just stopped by. We've got some pretty good news, I would say. He thinks that this short block is pretty much good to go as is. Since he's a Subaru engine builder, he's just going to consult one of his buddies that works over at the local BMW dealership and see just some small concerns that he had, see if that's just a normal thing with this motor, which is reassuring. But all in all, he says, you know, if you're not looking for any crazy power numbers and you're going to keep it relatively close to stock, which we are, he said it should be good to go. We wanted to get a second opinion on somebody that is much more well versed than both of us in this specific motor. So just waiting on that. He had a lot of good things to say about the heads. He's very surprised at how they look for the amount of mileage, which is good. some of my theories that I had. It was nice to know that I was in the right mindset, so I'm gonna pat myself on the back for that. One more thing I forgot to mention. Talking about the short block here, I'm not gonna throw it together as is. I'm gonna check the decks, make sure those are square, clean the piston tops, and Scott was saying that he isn't concerned about any of these marks because you can't even feel them. It's not a super concerning thing, and he thinks it might just be the ring ends doing their thing. It's kind of typical, but yeah, I'm gonna clean this guy up, do the remain, this coolant block off, and just run it, I think. So unless I hear back from him that there's a bottom end recommendation. But anyway, enough of me rambling. I'm gonna scoot out of here for the day. I'll be back here probably Monday. We'll be doing some more work on both of these cars next week. So thank you for listening to me ramble for the past 10 minutes, or however long this ends up getting cut down to. All right, I'm gonna go enjoy the day.